Hello, it's Laura here and I am outside. It is just about 5:15 and I shall give it a minute for people to join us and just have a little stroll. Now, those of you who are watching the replay who haven't been in Big Community before, I tend to be outside in the garden. And Milky, come here! I'll introduce you to somebody who's often in the videos. Milky, come here! Basically, I have a very crazy dog. Hi, Nikki! I was just introducing Milky to everybody, Nikki, if anybody's watching this replay, because she tends to, if she follows me out, she tends to make a bit of an appearance. Now, I don't know how everybody's doing today. How are you, Nikki? Are you feeling well? Are you having any symptoms or any illness? Or are you staying well? We've kind of been a bit poorly in our household this week. I'm actually a lot better, although looking at myself on the video I look quite washed out, and that's probably a fair reflection of how I feel. So I don't know if I've had CV, but I've had a temperature and a really tight chest at the beginning of the week that lasted for a couple of days. Oh, I'm glad you're good, Nikki. And you know what was the weirdest thing actually when I had that was there was this real fear of, because I'd read so much about how, you know, 1 minute you're okay and the next minute you're not. And a good friend, Lauren Bradley, who's she's in this group, she might join the call. She, you know, had similar symptoms and then suddenly went rapidly downhill. So unlike any other time I've ever had any kind of illness, I had to really, one of the biggest things I had to work with was my own fear of, yeah, am I okay, instead of being able to just trust my body. So that was interesting. But the actual symptoms didn't last for too long. It was only for, hey Kath, glad you're all good too. Yeah, I actually was quite well again by the Wednesday. So from Monday to Wednesday I felt quite rough. And then, hi Lily. And then yesterday I felt, God, you know when you feel better after you've been poorly and you just think, oh, it's so good, you feel so good after you've felt so bad. So that was yesterday, and today I've felt much better, but I've been quite frustrated because I haven't had as much energy as I thought. So you know that kind of slightly irritable stage of being ill where you're kind of, you feel well in yourself, but your body's going, no, sorry, no can do, there's nothing in the tank. So there's maybe a bit more couch surfing than I was hoping for today, and it was kind of annoying. But and now my daughter's got a temperature, so me and my son have had it. She's got it now, I think, whatever it is. My son was like hardly had anything, just a couple of headaches, bit of headache and a bit of a temperature, and that was about it. I suspect my husband will be next because he's home now, and I have to say he will be the worst, no doubt. He's been quite kind of, oh, it's not corona to me, but you can guarantee that if he gets poorly, it's going to be the worst disease known to man. So maybe it's just my husband. Does anyone else have a husband who has man flu? We have man flu in a big way, so I dread to think what man coronavirus might be. But, you know, saying that and making light of it, I know there are people who are experiencing a really tough time with being ill, and feeling that anxiety of how would I respond when it gets to me, or if it gets to me. So if that's you, and if you've got family members, you know, I'm sending my thoughts to you, because I know my mum's a really vulnerable person, and if she gets it, it's probably a fair chance that she wouldn't do very well. So and I think that's a lot of us, isn't it? It's like, I'm fine, but what about the other people in our lives? So that's why we're here. That's why I'm here every night now, is to provide a place for people to come and just put an anchor down. You know, the stormy waters right now, and being able to drop anchor and just get that sense of, you know, when there's a storm on the surface, that you can drop anchor and feel down into that stillness that's always there. And that's really what meditation is for, is that it's about dropping into that stillness, and you can still experience the storm, but just somehow having that connection to that deeper place is really powerful. And from a science perspective, because I do like the science when it comes to meditation, the great thing about meditation is that scientifically it's proven to boost your immune system. It boosts your, it makes you feel rested. And the reason that works is that basically you're triggering your relaxation response. And so one of the things that people often get confused about, though, in meditation is that I should feel relaxed. and I should feel calm. And you might, and hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll have moments when we meditate together where you feel a real sense of well-being and calm. But if you don't, that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not working. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It doesn't mean you're not good at it. It just means that when we're triggering that, when we're switching tracks from the stress response to the relaxation response, sometimes you still feel the churned up water, and that's okay. So, you know, when it starts to settle, yes, you will drop into that. But hi, Ruth. So you'll hear me say this most days, is that don't worry if when you close your eyes to meditate, it's crazy town in your mind. That doesn't mean that it's not doing what it needs to do. It doesn't mean that it's not helping you. It actually means that you're just becoming aware of the turmoil and the craziness that's already there. So that's my caveat that I will say every night. And as one of the meditation teachers on a retreat I just went on, he said, you've heard this before, but you haven't heard it this time. So that's another quality that I'd really love for you to bring, is a sense of, this is the first time I'm experiencing this meditation. So even though there will be elements that are the same every night, this is the first time in this moment, in this exact present moment, that you're doing it. So what does it feel like right now? What's my body like right now? What am I experiencing right now? And that is fundamentally the real thing that we're doing, is tapping into that. So let's get ourselves into a comfy position and let's meditate. And again, you'll hear me talk about posture. We're finding that happy place between active and relaxed. So we're not going sort of super relaxed, lying down, head back, because then, not for this type of meditation anyway, because then you are likely to fall asleep. With this meditation, we're aiming to stay active. We're still wanting to be present with it. So, but we're also not trying to hold it too tightly and be rigid, which is another thing that can happen. So feel into it, and over time you'll find that balance, that happy place between too rigid, too controlled, and too relaxed. And just be curious. So gently closing down your eyes, settling yourself, getting comfortable. And first of all, just tuning into what you can hear right now. Sometimes that opening of the senses outwards before we go inwards is a really powerful way to become aware of our awareness. So what am I hearing in this moment? Perhaps there's sounds from where I am, or sounds where you are, in the room that you're in, and beyond the room you're in. Just tuning in. Becoming aware of your body, your senses, right here, right now. And perhaps there's still thinking and sensations and feelings, and that's okay, they can still be there. But as soon as you feel you've been carried away from that focus on what you can hear, that's when that noticing point is when you come back. And then we'll turn inwards and take our awareness to rest really gently on the tips of the fingers. Just letting your full focus rest there. And again, noticing when it gets distracted or pulled away, without judging that or feeling frustration or getting pulled away by how you feel about being distracted. Just allowing yourself to land back in that place, that sensation in the fingertips. And noticing that after a while you might feel a gentle tingling or vibration in the fingers, like a gentle humming or vibration. It's your nervous system responding to you turning inwards. Your fingers preparing for movement. A conversation that we don't usually hear. And see if you can add your toes to your awareness now. So keeping your fingers and any sensations you might feel there, and also adding your toes, coming back anytime that you're distracted, just noticing and coming back. Perhaps you feel it more in your fingers than your toes. Just allow your awareness to rest there, coming back to this moment, and allowing it to spread up the ankles and the calves, all the way up to the knees. From the knees, travelling all the way up the thighs and into the hips. Perhaps noticing the chair underneath you or the ground. Maybe there's a heaviness or a lightness in the legs. Just noticing whatever sensation's there. And if there's thoughts and sensations elsewhere, just coming back. And then allowing that awareness to travel up the wrists and the forearms, to the crook of the arm and the elbow. And from there, travelling all the way up to the shoulders, across the chest, down into the belly, the whole body in your awareness now. Your body and that awareness is only ever in this moment. Perhaps noticing any tension anywhere in the body. Without trying to shift it or move it, just become aware of it and allow that to be in your awareness too. Just being curious about what happens when you allow that to be there. Perhaps noticing the jaw, the tongue in the mouth, the forehead. Perhaps there's just a whisper of a deeper relaxation just beginning to emerge in the body. Just being invited in by you, just staying with whatever's there. Not trying to shape it in any way. Letting go of effort and control. Being in this moment exactly as it is. Coming back any time that the mind or the body or sensations take you away. And then we'll move on to use the breath as our anchor. Not trying to control it, just keeping your awareness just gently resting there. Feeling that rising and falling in the body. Becoming aware of where do you notice the breath today? Is it where that cool air enters the nostrils or the mouth? Maybe that's rise and fall of the chest or the belly. Just let your awareness rest wherever is most prominent in this moment. And using that to come back any time that your mind wanders, as it will do. Watching that rise and fall. We'll begin to label that experience just to help us to rest in that place. So when you breathe in, gently labeling in your mind, rising. When you breathe out, falling. Rising, falling. And just noticing the body's breathing for you. There's no effort or trying, it just happens. And you might notice that when we focus on the breath like this, that initially there's almost an attempt to control the breath by the mind, making it seem momentarily difficult. And if that happens, just let go. Remind yourself that your body knows how to breathe. And you can just watch, letting it happen, and just labeling the experience without regulating or controlling. Rising, falling. Rising, falling. And we'll take a few moments of silence just to keep labeling that experience before I guide you back. Just allowing the breath to gently deepen again now. Just because you're bringing your attention there again, allowing each breath to become slightly longer. And taking 3 bigger than usual breaths now. Letting the breath return to its normal rhythm. Just noticing if that's changed. Becoming aware of the whole body again. Returning movement to the fingers and the toes. Just noticing what it feels like to move again. And gently blinking open the eyes. And there's the world again. Just taking a moment of stillness just to experience whatever it is that you've cultivated in those moments of silence. Becoming aware if there's any subtle differences in how you're experiencing this moment now. I hope wherever you are tonight, or whenever you're listening to this, that you have a good one. And I'll be back tomorrow at 5:15. And hopefully it'll be a bit warmer, because my fingers are a little bit cold. Take care everyone. Have a good night.